Hi, I'm Ray, and this is my January 2026 reading journal. This month I went with something quite different for my cover page themed. I ended up using this beautiful illustration that I'm showing here. It is the label of a wine called Catena Zapata Malbec. It's an Argentinian wine that my parents really love to drink, and it is a really good wine. But the label, it's exquisite, so I had to use it. I begged my mom to give me one of her bottles so I could steal the label from, and I was able to get it out in one piece. It's actually quite simple to get labels out of wine bottles. Make sure your wine bottle is in a sink and you're not touching it. Pour hot water inside the bottle and then peel out the sticker or peel off the sticker. It's so easy. Do be careful, don't get burned. Definitely hold on to the bottle with a cloth or something so you don't touch the wine glass itself, like the glass itself, because it will be very hot, like the bottle itself. But for the collage, I don't really have proper full stationery stickers and washi tapes that completely matched the vibe that this label had going on. So I decided to go and rely heavily on the anatomy book that I've been cutting up for a couple of years now to do collages with, and I am running out of bones, so I do need another anatomy book for this purpose. Yeah, I'm gonna suffer looking for that. Or I can draw the bones, and that takes a lot more effort and time, even though I can do that. It takes a lot. Anyway, but I chose to use the anatomy book so to match the vibe with the bones and the skulls and the guy that is bone body. The vibe needed to match it, so I went with the anatomy book. And I also decided that I didn't like the stark white of the page with the label, so I am just covering everything in this slightly creamy page of the anatomy book. This is all text from the anatomy book that I just cut up and use it. And this is an artistic, anatomy for artists book, so I am using it as an artist would. Not really, this is supposed to be for studying, not for collaging, but this is what we're doing with it. It's perfect. But I'm just covering out a little bit of the page with that. I'll put the hand on the right side under the waterfall tab and the rib cage on the left side with space at the bottom for writing January. And here I'm just trying to figure out where the hand will actually go and how I'll position it. And here you can see I'm leaving a little space at the bottom to write January there. And I do apologize. I will apologize now because I completely did not click record to do the bottom page of the collage. So the hand part of the collage just happens. You'll see that I just cut to a clip that has it, and I apologize, and that was me not clicking record. I apologize. That was a rookie mistake. But here I'm just trimming out the page, and I forgot how a little bit annoying can be working with paper instead of stickers, because I used a lot of stickers on the setup and not a lot of paper. And here's me doing the glue down of this very badly because it was so crooked. Luckily, this paper for the label is thick and sturdy, so it did not complain at all with me fumbling around and pulling it up and down. So that was really nice. And then here you can see I cut away the name of the wine and a few more label specific information. I just wanted the illustration, and I'm just cutting out a little bit out just so it's not completely straight on the right side there. Perfect. I really like this. It's not the best collage, but I do really like it. And then I'm just adding a little bit of this gold washi tape that I got for Christmas. It is listed on Tiefossi. I will have everything that I can listed down below. I have like a really long list of everything that I use, and it has all the links, all the information that I can give you, all the pictures, which I find really helpful when I'm even looking for things. So I'll have that linked down below in the description. And I put down a little bit of this gold foiled washi tape here. I didn't want to use too much of it, and I wish I had something with that red foil, but impossible to find. Honestly, I have never seen stationery with red foil before, but I did have this little reddish orangey vine that I think matched just enough that I could use this to bring a little bit more color into this collage. It's not the best collage I've ever done, but I do like how it turned out. And here I'll just write January in the bottom corner using a Pigma Micron size 10, which is the biggest Pigma Micron I have ever bought. And I apologize for flipping the journal around for doing that. Here I am thinking of the camera and actually showing you guys me writing this. It's just that when I write, I tend to really tilt my body and the journal, so I look like a shrimp when I'm writing. So it's a labor of folding around for me to write anything. And here I'm just showing you that I'm using a little bit more of the text from the anatomy book to do the collage in the bottom there. And voila, it's done, because I didn't record me doing it. I apologize. And there we have my collage for my January cover page. And here I'll do my dashboard. And I think I really like the format that I ended up with. I went back and forth in how I was going to do this, but I decided to do it like this because I didn't want to have to print all the covers again, because I have the long list with all the covers for my beginning pages, and I thought I chose to do something different for the monthly covers, just so it's not like the same thing. So I'm doing a pile of books with all of the books that I read each month. For January, I read 7 books. Most of them being novels. I think one was a graphic novel and one was a manga. 5 novels. So a lot of hefty books. And I loved most of them, not all of them. I had a dud as my first book of the year. I was very upset. But it happens. I've heard good things about this book. I just did not like it. So it happens like that sometimes. Now on the right side, I did my stats for the month, just using a regular Pigma Micron size 0.05, size 05. I just put down format, physical, digital, or audio. All the books I read in January are digital because the one physical book I was reading, I finished February 1st. The source is where I got the books from. Most of the books I read are from Libby, but I also have here my own books. So the books I have in my home library, and other could be other websites or from friends. I also have pages with the total for the books I read being 2,579 pages for January, with books between 200 and 500 pages long. As for my star rating, I had an average of 3.86 stars and had the ratings between 2 and 5, because if it's under 2, I will DNF it. And that 2-star was almost a DNF, that's for sure. And everything I'm just highlighting on my Tombow 942 dual brush, and for I'm just using it a couple of times on top of each other, on top of itself, to get it a little bit darker. And I have a little highlights there at the bottom of the right page, and I decided to do that so I could have a couple of the covers here. So I'll choose 1 or 2 each month to put down as a highlight for the month. And for January, I chose Shubik Lubik and Heated Rivalry, and I'll talk more about them when we get to them, but they're both amazing books. Both of them got 4.5 stars. My 5-star was actually The Hunger Games, but because that was a reread, I chose not to put it down as a highlight. Now, for the books that I read in January. The first book I read in January was Briony Cameron's The Ballad of Jacques de la Haye. I have no idea how to say that. It's supposed to be French. I did not have a fun time with this book. This was my 2-star rating. I saw it available on Libby and I thought it was really interesting. It has a really good premise. It's about this historical figure, Jacques de la Haye, that is or was one of the most prominent pirate captains in the Caribbean, and I did not care for this. It has a pretty good rating on Storygraph, so I had high hopes for it. I just could not get into this. I did not like the characters. I thought the writing was a bit stiff. This is a debut novel as far as I remember, so maybe it's a little bit stiff because of that. It was not for me. I did not have a good time with this one. I almost DNF'd it. I didn't because I was like, you know what? It's the first book of the year. I gotta finish it. And I did. And unfortunately, I did not have a good time with it. And I forgot to say, I bought those rubber stamps at Toronto when I was there for the end of the year. And they're gorgeous. And I bought that little ink pad with it, and I'm just gonna stamp every single book number for the rest of the year with my reviews, and I'm so happy. It looks so cute. I'm very happy that I chose to do this greenish dark color just so it's not like stark black. I really like it. Yeah, and it's the first time I have stamps, so they're quite fun. But, and you can see here, I have a little cheat code now, because last year, if you watch my videos, you see that I keep flipping back and forth trying to figure out the order I'm supposed to write things down because I keep forgetting. So this year, I chose to get a little marker with all the information that I need, and now I have the order of things I'm supposed to put down written down there. Makes my life much easier. And I'm continuing to use my copy system, which I have in the beginning of my setup pages. The very first page, I have the system down. And for the Ballad of Jacques, I got 1 for character, 2 for atmosphere, 1 for relationships, 4 for plot, and 2 for enjoyment. Like, I put 4 for plot because the idea was there, the story was there. I just did not care for the execution, and I think that is how we landed on 2 stars. It was a weird time with this one. And I am skipping writing everything down. I'll show you guys later when everything is filled up, but I'll skip the actually writing of the review just so we can keep going with the little collages I have. And I'm keeping January quite simple with each collage just because it's where we ended up. Honestly, I'm still trying to figure out the size of notebook. So for the second book I read, I chose to read The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. And honestly, I've been meaning to reread this series for a while now, and halfway through the first book I was like, I need a good book coming up. I need to read a banger. So The Hunger Games was available, so I read The Hunger Games. That's basically it. And it actually got a 5-star out of me. I read this pretty much when it came out in like 2008, 2009. And I was expecting to still really like this story because it is such a good book and it's such a good story, but I wasn't expecting it to have 5 stars. I wasn't expecting to give 5 stars to it at all. Just because it is a YA, Katniss is a bratty teen. Okay, she's not bratty at all. She's a teenager that can be a little annoying sometimes to read, but she's so consistent in her point of view, in her actions, and how she moves through the world, that even when she is annoying and crazy and doesn't understand what's going on around her, I can't help but be so charmed by her. And the fact that she's such an unreliable narrator for this story makes such a perfect sense. I had a great time rereading this, and I definitely want to reread the rest of the series. I'm debating whether I'm going to reread the rest of the series before I read Sunrise of the Reaping, that I haven't read yet, but we'll see how it goes. But for the Hunger Games, I gave 4 for characters, 5 for atmosphere, 5 for relationships, 5 for plot, and 5 for enjoyment. And characters got 4 just because, again, because it's her point of view, we have a limited view of the other characters around her, and that is the only reason. Because I wanted more from the characters, but I can't have it because Katniss is an unreliable narrator. Now, for the third book that I read in 2026, I read Game Changer by Rachel Reed. This is Scott and Kip's story from Heat of Rivalry, the TV show, episode 3. They are adorable. This is extremely cutesy. This is #JustFluff, honestly. I wish there was a little more to it. I wish there was like a bit more bone to this meat, but there isn't. So it delivered exactly what it said it would, so I can't fault it for that. I just wish we had a little bit more. But anyway, this is a cutesy romance. I am obsessed with this entire series. I currently finished number 3 of the books, and can't wait to read number 4. So I am reading this entire series as fast as Libby allows me. As for my rating, we got 3.5 for characters because I just wish we had more to everyone, honestly. 4 for atmosphere, 4 for relationships, 3 for plot because I wish there was a little more of a plot here, even if it was just like internal emotional plot going on, and 5 for enjoyment because I did have a great time. I do gotta say though, this book is spicy. For those that don't know it, if somehow you don't know it, this book is spicy and there's quite a lot of it. So do be aware if you didn't know. But basically, 4 stars for Game Changers. Now, for Shubik Lubik by Dina Mohammed. I apologize for definitely saying that wrong. I tried searching for how to say the title of this book. I couldn't figure it out. I apologize. This is a graphic novel that I actually got as a recommendation by Courtney Novak. She is doing a read around the world and she posts it on TikTok, and she read Shubik Lubik for Egypt. And at the time, I was trying to find something to read for Egypt because of the Storygraph Read Around the World Challenge for last year, and I chose to read Shubik Lubik. It's just that Libby only allowed me to read it now in January, so that's why I'm reading it now. Anyway, this is beautiful. This is a beautifully illustrated, amazingly told story. Absolutely perfect. It is fantasy in the sense that this world has wishes, like lamps wishes, genies wishes, and they are commercialized and they have different levels of strength and ability and price tags on them. And the story, it's 3 short stories on 3 really strong wishes that get told in this book, and it's so good. It's beautifully illustrated, beautifully told. I definitely recommend. I don't want to say anything else about this book because I went into this basically blind and I had a great time. So for this book, the ratings are 4 for characters, 5 for atmosphere, 3 for relationships, 5 for plot, and 5 for enjoyment. Absolutely perfect. It got a 4.4 or 4.5 stars as a total rating. It's beautiful, 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 beautiful. Honestly, as I'm looking at my own ratings, I'm like, I might change my own ratings and give it more because it was so good. But we're not doing that right now. As for the next book I read, this is the manga I read. I read With You, Our Love Will Make It Through. Or, in Japanese, Kimi to koete koi ni naru. I read this because I roped myself into watching the anime because it looked so pretty, and now we are here. basically. This is high school romance furry. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. I have no defense for myself. I am here now. I live in this household. But honestly, this is actually really good. It's really well written, beautifully illustrated. The anime is gorgeous, and I really like the characters. They are teenagers and they have their teen angst, but they understand themselves in a way that do not make me annoyed. Because there's a fine line to walk when you're writing teenagers, because they kind of have to be oblivious because they are teenagers, but if they're too oblivious, it's annoying. And they walk that line. This is actually pretty good. I watched the entire season of the anime and I read the first chapter or the first volume of the manga. I am debating if I'm continuing to read this. I probably am, because there won't be any more anime, because unfortunately when they do short romance anime, they give us one season of 12 episodes and that's it. Anyway, this is written by Chihiro Yuzuki and it was really good, honestly. I gave it 4 for characters, 5 for atmosphere, and because it's manga and I did that with Shubikubik as well, a lot here is because of the artwork, or the atmosphere kind of grabs the artwork in it as well. 4 for relationships, 3 for plot, because again, the plot is minimal, is more about the romance, and 5 for enjoyment, because I had a great time here. I really did. So if you want to give a manga a try, if you're not used to manga, actually don't read this one if you're not used to manga. It is a weird one. I'm used to this weirdness, so we live in this house. Anyway, next book I read was Richard Osman's The Man Who Died Twice, and you will realize that I don't have this series on my series tracker because I read the first book here ages ago and I kind of forgotten about it. And then this was available on Libby and I was like, yeah, let's read this. I haven't read a mystery in a while. And then I didn't like it. I was very upset because I actually quite liked the Thursday Murder Club, the first book in the series. But I did not care for this one. So I'm still debating if I'm going to try reading the third one. And here I realize I made a mistake because I read the manga somewhere else, not on Libby. But back to Richard Osman's The Man Who Died Twice. I really like the characters of the Thursday Murder Club. I just didn't like this book. It was not a good book. It was very meandering. It's all I gotta say about it. As for my ratings, it got 4 for characters, because again, I do like the club. 3 for atmosphere, 4 for relationships, because again, the club is amazing. 3 for plot, because it was very meandering. And 2 for enjoyment. I did not have a good time with this one and ended up having 3.2 or 3 stars. Oh, I realized I didn't say. My manga got 4.2 stars or 4 total stars actually. Now, the last book I read in January, as you can see on the picture over there, was Heat of Rivalry by Rachel Reed. I'm obsessed with these two. I am completely obsessed. They are everything I think about right now. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. If you're talking about Heat of Rivalry, I'm watching what you're talking about. I'm reading what you're talking about. I am paying attention to everything. It's ridiculous. Please stop my brain. Anyway, I had a great time with this. So my problem with Game Changer was that the story was not plot, like the plot was minimal and the characters was just fluff. Here we have a little bit more plot. It's still minimal plot, it's more about the relationship, but the characters bring a lot more into this relationship because there's a lot more going on internally, and the angst and the internalized problems that they have. And it was a shorter book, which actually helped because I think Game Changer is like 50 pages too long. Heat of Rivalry is about 30 pages shorter than Game Changers, and the characters have a lot more going on internally. and it worked beautifully. Absolutely beautiful. We got 4 for characters, 4 for atmosphere, 5 for relationships, 5 for plot, and 5 for enjoyment, for a total of 4.6 for 4.5 stars. This book was gorgeous. I'm obsessed with it. I already read the 3rd one. I also loved it. Haven't rated it yet. I'll figure out later. But I had a great time with my Holinov babies. Shane and Ilya, the men that you are. Rachel Reed, thank you for your service. Libby, thank you again for providing me with the ability to read this, because it was impossible to find the physical copies of these books in Canada. Oh my god. And we don't have it in Brazil yet, so I can't even look for them here. And that was the books that I read in January. Yeah, had a great time. I did think about making Hate of Rivalry its own like full page spread, but I ended up choosing to just do the same format for everybody instead of doing that. And I think it works. I do end up having to do a little collage here at the end to make up for the extra space there. And it wasn't the best planned collage for sure. Very loosey-goosey. But it happens. I was running out of steam. Honestly, by the time I was doing this, it was the last thing I did, as you can tell, because I definitely lost steam there. But it happens. But yeah, these were the books that I read in January. I had a great time with most of them. I read some weird things, I read some fun things, and I read some things that I'm still obsessed with. Let me know if you've read any of these, what you thought about them, and especially if you have read Heat of Rivalry, Game Changers, and Now Tough Guy. Talk to me, because I need more people to talk about these stories with. Definitely. I am reading them as fast as I can. I just still have to wait for Libby to let me read them. Basically, I am on hold for everything, so I'll read them as soon as they become available, basically. But now I wanted to show you how the rest of my journal is coming along. I'm going to be doing the updates off camera and then showing you guys how it looks as the months come along. As you can see, I read every day in January for a total of 7 books there that I forgot to write down. And February, I've actually read every day so far as well. Now, my bookshelf is looking a little more colorful than it did in my previous video. And here I have my books in 2026 that have more than the 7 I showed you guys, because again, I update it as I go. So it's in different levels of update every time that I open it. Here is my book format and book length. I'm just pointing out that I had to restart this because I made a mistake in the beginnings, but I really like how that is coming along. Here I have my release year and star ratings. As you can see, 4 stars is my highest used rating so far, and the years are pretty spread out. I'm surprised. My borrowed own comparison, definitely more borrowed, because basically everything is from Libby. No DNFs yet, we'll see how it goes. And here's my 2026 stats. I will fill this up with you guys. I have 7 books for January, all of them digital, with over 2,000 pages for the month, and with an average rating of 3.8 stars. It was pretty good. It's pretty good. And all of them borrowed, because of course, basically all of them from Libby. Now, for my challenges. For the series tracker, I read Game Changer and Hate of Rivalry and The Hunger Games there. And I don't have the Thursday Murder Club series here because I'm not sure I'll actually be continuing that series. As for my roll for reading, here I'm rolling my beautiful D20 for the number 6. This is a non-fiction book, A Brief History of Everyone Who Ever Lived, by Adam Rutherford. We'll see how it goes. I don't have a good track record with nonfiction. We'll see if I'm able to read this for February. Hopefully I will. For my Latin America challenge, I have Tenders the Flesh currently available on Libby to read, so hopefully I'll be reading that this month and actually start tackling that challenge. As for my bingo, I actually wanted to show you guys what is going on here. I had to organize it, because my husband made a mistake when he was putting down the tiles on the right side, and I found out because I uncovered Holy Plot Twist, and it was a tile that had already been unveiled. So I had to take all the stickers out, figure out what was doubled, and organize it. Basically, he forgot all of the B line, or most of the B line on the bingo. So I had to organize it. As you can see, I just chose Holy Plot Twist to be the first of the B's that were missing, because that is how I chose. And I don't actually remember what's going on anymore. So that's what we got. Yay! I almost have a bingo already. I don't even understand how that happened already. We'll see if I am lucky and unveil the IL and the IO to get a bingo. Now for Read the Rainbow, I got Richard Osman's for the blue cover there. And for the Goober Book Club, I have Encyclopedia for Fairies, or Emily Wild's Encyclopedia of Fairies, and Andy Weir's Hail Mary. And I haven't read either of them yet. I'm honestly, I don't know how much of the Goober Book Club I'll be doing this year, because apparently I'm not in the mood for it. I'm just reading what Libby allows me to, basically. And here I'm just putting down the cover for my February book for Year of Goober, that I continued with the hockey team and read Check Please. And this is book 2, or volume 2 of the widespread publishing of Check Please. Read this book, it's so good. It's a comic by Ngozi Ukazu. You can find it online, actually, on her website, and it's gorgeous. I am obsessed with it. I read it as it was coming out on Tumblr. I'm old. It was so good. And honestly, for number 3 for March there, I'll probably just use another of my hockey books, because apparently I'm only reading hockey romance now. As for my Lost in Library, I did read this as well. I just finished it in February, because of course I did. It took me forever to choose an LGBTQ plus author, but I ended up reading The Girl from the Sea by Lee Knox Ostertag. I'm definitely saying his name wrong, I apologize. But this story is really cute. I definitely recommend this graphic novel. It was very, very good. And now just rolling my D20 again, and I landed on 5-star prediction. I hate 5-star prediction. I never predict my stars. So I'll probably just put down the next book I start there and see how close I get to a 5-star, honestly. Or I might read Catching Fire and see, because The Hunger Games got 5-star. Maybe Catching Fire will get 5 stars. I don't know. And last but not least, my Buzzwordathon. Here I have titles on one side and covers on the other side. I'll just read to you what I'm putting down. I put Shubik Lubik for border or frame on the cover side. And then I put With You, Our Love Will Make It Through for make on the buzzword side. Next up is Silhouette with Junji Ito's horror stories, Mimi's horror stories. This one I read in Portuguese, so I don't know what's called in English. For the covers, I also have Blood Over Brighthaven for Fire and Smoke. And last but not least, I have Check Please Volume 1 for Keyboard Key, because the title has a comma and an exclamation point. And here we have just my January pages that I wanted to show to you guys again. I'm actually quite happy with how this turned out. What are words? I'm still not 100% sure if I'm keeping this format of half pages for the reviews. I might give full pages for some books or all books. I'm still debating. But thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys liked this video, and let me know what you think. Bye!